Well, good morning. It is 7 minutes past the hour on this 12th day, 12th day of September. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Yours truly, Joe Dupree from 100 BLK, the Black Station in the building. Good morning to everybody who's logging on. Of course, my two co-hosts, Brother Fatim, who is from 107.5 WBLS in New York City. You know him from Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton and the online open lines. He'll be on in a few. Our other co-host, Sister Jax, I know she's out there watching, recovering from her medical procedure. We have her in our prayers. All I can say is get well soon, my sister. And to all of you out there that are logged in, I'm ringing the bell. I'm giving a round of applause because it is Turn Up Thursday. Turn down for what? I'm just saying. We're going to have the road show today because I'm going to be leaving out of the studio. I got to get on the road. But when Brother 15 gets in, we're going to discuss how we're going to do this. We're either going to give you an abbreviated show today or you're going to get the real road show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Good morning to everybody. I see you logging in out there. I see you all over the world. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Willie Pickens. How you doing? Good morning, Jessica Dewberry. I see you. Good morning, KC. Hey, we survived, Francine. We survived, Francine. Francine didn't do nothing around here. She didn't do nothing. Now, she went down the street a little bit and caused a few problems. But Francine didn't do nothing around here. It is surprising how a 2-hour distance away from you can make all the difference. We had no power outages, no flooding, some rain, and a little wind. 2 hours down the road in New Orleans, they had major power outages, flooding, winds up to 100 miles an hour. Just 2 hours. I'm literally 2 hours from New Orleans. I am 2 hours from New Orleans. And we fared just fine. We were doing great. We did well. To all those who were affected by Francine and still are being affected by Francine, folks in Mississippi, Alabama, all the way out to Florida and to Tennessee and to Georgia. Be careful out there. Francine is still no joke. And even though she's no longer a hurricane, she's done calmed herself down to become a tropical storm or depression. You still need to be careful. Folks are still talking about the debate. Yeah, folks are still talking about the debate. And one thing we didn't talk about yesterday with the debate was the endorsement from the Swifties and Taylor Swift. And the reason I brought that up was because last night was the VMAs. And if you are into pop culture, I'm pretty sure you checked out the VMAs. We'll try to get into that another conversation. But good morning, good morning. I got to say good morning to a lot of folks. I see a lot of folks out there. So good morning to all my people that's logged in California, all my people in Texas, all my people in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland. I see you. Washington, D.C., good morning. I salute you this morning. New York and New York City. I see you out there. Good morning to everybody in Florida, especially my people down there in Miami. I see y'all. And let me go overseas. I see my people. I got a light on. Yeah, I see a light on in the UK. Come on now. Come on. Let's get it, London. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's Turn Up Thursday. Turn down for what? I see you in Paris, France. I know the Olympics are gone, but we still around. Yeah, we still there. Good morning, Germany. I see you. I see you, family. Dallas, Texas. Had to jump back over here. Dallas, Texas. I'm on my way. I'll be in Dallas by tonight. So, you know, the road show going to be in full effect. I see him in the green room, so I need to bring him on. Yeah, bring him on, bring him on. Like I said, bring him out, bring him out. Bring him out, bring him out. Here he come, here he come. My brother from another mother, you know him from the Open Lines Online and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton. It's Brother Fatim, 107.5 WBLS, New York City. Good morning, my brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, baby. I'm good.
So I's got a question.
Okay.
I's got a question because I got to start getting ready to get up out of here. We can do this one or two ways, and I'm going to let you decide because as I tell folks, I'm really just the engineer. I'm just the engineer. How you want to do this? We can do the road show. That means you're going to be solo bolo for about 15 minutes. And we can go to the end, or we can just cut this show a little short today. What you want to do?
Short.
I don't know.
What time you got to get on the road?
I really got to get on the road soon. but you know, I'm here for the people. You know, it ain't about me. You know, a hurricane don't stop me. Being in the hospital don't stop me. Don't nothing stop me. Let me. No, I can't do like that because folks say, yeah, he got stopped The Fed stopped him. I was getting ready to go, but I ain't gonna do that because the Fed stopped him.
Yeah, we cut it. We cut it short. We'll cut it
All
short.
right,
We'll cut it short.
because it's just us. It's just us.
We'll cut it short.
It's just us.
By the time you get set up and everything, so let's just go.
No, I mean, I got everything ready for the road show. It's just gonna take me 15 minutes to get the road show up and running. So it's however you want to do it. At the end of the day, brother, we are here. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for the people that log in, and we appreciate y'all logging in. Like I said, I still got folks talking all over the place, especially politics. Big ups to yesterday. I got to give much love to my brother Fatim, for bringing in Pastor Watkins. I saw him last night also on the Open Lines Online, and of course from my area, a very prolific, well-known political analyst who do her thing. Miss Judson was on from Southern University. So we're just in the building. You never know who we might bring on the show or what we might do, but either way it goes, we in here and we got it popping. Yeah. Welcome to Turn Up Thursday. Turn down for what?
There you go. So wait a minute. So wait. Let me just say a few things here. First of all, good morning to everybody. I hope everybody, I haven't heard of any death. The Hurricane Francine hitting the area. So, our prayers still continue out there because the weather is a natural situation. So it's not something to play with out there. Again, there's still people that is hard-headed, and some people can't leave. And that's a different situation. But those that can't leave need to get to the officials so that they can be evacuated in a timely manner. But some people are just hard-headed. So I'm not going down that road. Let me just say good morning to Sister Jax. I take care of yourself, sis, and make sure you got the pain management is real. Don't let them people play with you. That they play with us. We're under-medicated. At the end of the day. When we're dealing with pain, legitimate pain management is real. Don't let no doctors and those stereotypes out there fill your head with other things. You gotta manage the pain. When people have cancer and other illnesses, my wife took pain meds, strong pain meds all her life, never was addicted to it. Not gonna get addicted to this medicine. It's a small percentage in the amount of pain that you will manage the pain, because these doctors under-medicate us when it comes down to pain management. I leave that there said.
Okay.
I'm always talking about sex and this, that, and the other, right? It was a very interesting conversation I had at the Waffle House. I was sharing it with KC. No. Here we go. No.
Let's go.
You need to call Shannon Sharp up. You need to call Shannon Sharp up.
That's your boy. Hold on.
He do what we do.
He do what we do. Don't tell me who I need to call when you got him in your Rolodex. That's your boy. You need to call your partner up and put him on. Put Shay Shay on. Put Shay Shay on.
So Shannon Sharp.
Put Shay Shay on.
So if you don't know, and I don't know the full story because I came across it this morning, but the young ladies in the Waffle House was talking about it today. So my man, I don't know who the female was. Maybe it's known as not. Michelle, he putting in work. He doing.
Michelle, I'll never look at it.
Okay, I don't care. I don't give a damn who it is. It's a female. I don't give a damn who it is. Shannon Sharp, like he said, I'm a healthy Black man. I get mine in like anybody. I get mine in like Brother Fatim get his in, right? Let me tell the story.
But why the lie in the beginning?
Huh?
Why the lie in the beginning?
I don't know anything about a lie. I know he said he called. I saw him interviewing Ocho, and he said that he called ESPN to let him know. Listen, I'm a healthy Black man, and I do what any other healthy Black man do in putting it in. But the question is, how did that go live? And just speaking this morning, the young ladies would say, it's just not easy to swipe your phone and go live. It ain't easy to swipe your phone and go live. Now, you may can swipe your phone and record, because I've been in text messages and accidentally hit something and it record. But how does it go live? How does it get leaked and go live?
Cause the lie that was told in the beginning when it first came out was
Right.
somebody hacked my account. Somebody
Right.
hacked
That's
my
the
account.
lie. That's the lie.
That's the lie.
That's the lie. Oh,
I'm
my
asking
phone.
about.
Yeah, but his phone wasn't hacked. He did that. So the bottom line is, again, people film, make videos. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. But you're right. What's the lie for? And see, that's why some people don't put films out there, because go back to Ray J and Kim Kardashian. They put a film is leaked, and what happened? It catapulted their careers. It did.
Kim famous. Nobody
Damn
knew
right.
Hold it. Kim literally, hold it. I want y'all to really think about that. Think about that for 1 minute. It is 18 minutes, 18 minutes past the hour. It is Turn Up Thursday. Turn down for what?
I know Shannon Sharp was putting it down. He turned it up to put it down, baby.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
It ain't about seeing it, it's about hearing it. It's about hearing it.
They said that Shannon gave an instructional direction of how things need to go.
There you go, baby.
So listen. All I can say is it is what it is. And once again, I say this constantly. I say it to myself. I tell it to everybody who's on this line, on the chat line. I say it to everybody who's logged in, be it that you clicked in and we can see you clicked in, or you're in the back playing Ghost. Everybody got secrets until they get caught.
I mean,
everybody got
yeah.
secrets.
But is it a secret that you putting in the work? You know what?
When people put you on a pedestal, Brother Fatim, they look at you as there's certain things that in a moral statement you just don't do. So let's just call it what it is.
Wait, don't do what? Do what?
Hold it.
Don't do what? Record or videotape? That's your private business.
Hold it. Yeah, but when your private business go public, it's a different game.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
So look, I ain't tripping on your private business.
But I don't give a damn what Shannon. But I don't care if his business go public. I don't give a damn. Shannon Sharp ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't raped nobody. He ain't sexual abused nobody. He getting it in. See, that's why I keep saying the way we do and treat sex and this, that, and the other is so tabooish, and I don't get with that. I ain't got no problem with Shannon Sharp. I don't give a damn. That's something that he got to deal with.
Brother Fatim, no offense, and as you said, that we need to start using it. I'll use it very, very, very directly. In my opinion, and the way I operate, which I'm not trying to put my belief system on you or anyone else, I just know that once people hold people to a certain standard, there's certain things they don't want to see. Now, that's just most folk. I ain't saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not so much that Shannon Sharp was filming and doing whatever he was doing. If he was literally acting like he was the plumber and replumbing and putting a whole new pipe system in, whatever he's doing, that's his business. But once his business goes public, that's when folks start saying that. See, folks are judgmental regardless if you go public or if they make an assumption that you're doing something. That's just the way people are these days. People always talk that cliche, as you say, mess of judge not that ye be judged in the same manner, but everybody judging, everybody peeping, everybody doing this number. Let me drop the T on y'all, the newest, latest T. Come on, man. At the end of the day, folk are folk, and they're going to do what folk do. If Shannon did it, the only problem I have is, come on, Shannon, make sure your stuff don't go public. Because now you're going to get critiqued. And not only are you going to get critiqued, so folk going to be like, come on, Shannon. Come on, Shay Shay. Come on.
Casey said, growling is not sexy.
Okay. See, folk might have been looking at Shay Shay and saying, man, that's a good looking brother. Because women do that. Y'all can't tell me women don't. I believe I'm one of the few brothers that say it, and I say it openly and publicly. Just like men look at women sometimes and say, oh, my goodness, if I could get that. I know y'all women do the same thing to men. Y'all just don't try to admit it all the time. Y'all try to be sugar and spice and everything nice. But the truth, and you want us to be snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. But the truth about the matter, y'all sometimes get it in more than we get it in. Let's call it what it is. Hold it. Last time just like the sister said a few shows ago, the Rose is a $1 billion business. The Rose is a $1 billion business. So name me something that's being sold for men outside of Viagra. Viagra is a $1 billion business. Hold it. I don't gonna go there. But at the end of the day, hey, folk getting it in. Old folks, young folks,
sells.
Right. That
Sex
part.
sells.
That part.
You know, Jessica Dewberry says, I didn't know what I was listening to until I started listening. I wasn't prepared. And like I said, you know, a lot of this stuff was taboo. Not taboo, but it's always say grown folks. You understand what I'm saying? But the Pandora box is kind of open. And I'm not about giving kids certain things, but I'm also about age appropriation about certain things. And a lot of times we keep things from not children, but I'm not talking about 12 and 8 years old. But I'm just saying that when you get older, 17, 18, and you can't have a conversation with your young, almost adult child that be 17, 18 years old, which to me, you should have a talk with them way earlier than that, about certain things. The society treats these things as taboo, and they're not taboo. They're life. You just said sex is it's $1 billion business, not million. It's $1 billion business. I come out of New York. 42nd Street used to be the strip, X-rated, peep shows. All that stuff was there. You understand? All that stuff was there for people.
Ain't y'all still got the point going on? Don't y'all got a strip? You know, that's the thing.
Every city got a damn strip.
Hold it. There's some major hostros out there these days. Big ups to my nephew that's in the building. I see you, Fly Dog. I see you. The Fly Dog in the building. Now, that's a real Dallas Cowboy fan. Since you're a Cowboy fan, I got a real Dallas Cowboy fan that just jumped in here. Fly Dog. Hey, better get him, Bird Dog. Hey, let me tell you something. Wake up this morning. The hashtag Truth Be Told, 24 minutes past the hour. Listen, we're about to get in this thing. So listen, that's right. Sex sells. And here's the thing about it. In this day and time, one of the biggest issues is a lot of folks try to measure sex and how sex is being projected out, the conversation of sex and sex in general from the perspective of how they were raised. Well, once again, I always tell folks, baby, when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, correct me, James Lewis, if I'm wrong. If in Simple City, we were still riding bikes, roller skating around the place. We were watching Saturday cartoons. We were running around, meeting each other at the baseball field to play baseball.
And sneaking in Playboy magazines.
Right. So hold on. But here's what I'm saying. You're very correct with that. Back in those days, they had a magazine section in certain places, maybe in the grocery store or in the pharmacy.
Convenience store was in New York.
Where it said adults only. And you know, and right. I'm glad you brought up how it is in New York. I know other places outside New York. Let me talk from the southern perspective. It was in the grocery store or the pharmacy. There was a magazine section that had the Playboy, the Penthouse. Most stores carried Playboy and Penthouse. If they were a little risque, they carried Hustler and some other stuff. And of course, okay, right, hold it. But that's from back in the cut. I'm not no youngster. You know, I ain't no youngster. I ain't no old golden oldie. I'm well seasoned, but I ain't no youngster. But if you look at how sex was being portrayed, like for example, you didn't see most of us. Let's just be real. I can raise my hand and say it. Most of us, until a certain time, only had three television stations, and most of them went off at 12 o'clock midnight. That's back in the day. Yeah,
that's
most
down south. That didn't happen in New York. I mean, TV went off in New York, but we signed off like 5 o'clock after David and Goliath went off.
Hey, but I'm just saying.
We were 5 in the morning.
But see, and that's funny. That's funny that you say that. You're right. It is, and that's why I want to coherently keep pushing as we build this podcast. You in New York, and you speak from a New Yorker's perspective, but there's a whole world outside of New York that experiences life also. It's not like it is in New York. Though New York, to me, is the Black Mecca. Things start in New York and they trickle down, you know. But there was a time in my life.
Joe, But Joe, my uncle would tell me, my uncle would come and give me these stories as we were young teenagers, and my father would be there. He would be there too, and the stories that the fairs and what the women could go to the fairs, and they had the little section on what the women could put inside them, and all kind of things. So sex has always been around. What they did in the tobacco barn and all that, and dude, it's real. And that's why I said,
right.
But when hip hop artists started talking about this, when it became where Dolores Tucker and Reverend Calvin Butts, God bless his soul, her soul as well, because they passed on. They were saying that this should not be marketed to kids. They helped bring on the parental labels to put on these CDs and albums and this, that, and the other. And I thought that was right because it needs to be responsible. But what it did is it started to have this broader conversation because we tend to hide these things from society, but people were doing these things. So it just was done in the dark. And then a lot of this stuff is coming to light. Again, your personal business, what you do in your bedroom is your personal business. I'm not saying to bring your bedroom out into the public. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that we're in 2024. And
it's a
whole different ball game when it comes to sex. Women openly talks about toys. They have toy parties. Like back in the day, they had Tupperware parties. Then they had the toy parties. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then I hung around women and I realized women are just like us men. They talk like us. They do certain things like us. That's what I keep saying. We put this false thing on. I'm not like that. I was at a function the other day. They came to me, the women, don't put this on Facebook. You know why? You know why they don't want that? You live in a damn double life. You don't want the church to know. You don't want the church to know that you're taking shots. Friday night you're taking shots and shaking your ass, but Sunday you in church pretending to be somebody else. That's what I call a hypocrite.
Hey,
I don't like that hypocrite.
You put them pictures out there, you messing up.
I wouldn't do that because I'm gonna respect their privacy.
You messing up the church's money.
I look back at your ass. Don't come over here and play Miss Prissy on Sunday because I know your drawers got wet. Don't get me started. I go there. Don't get me started today. Don't play this Prissy game, and your ass know you hot in the backside.
Well, see, most of the times. And let's just say it. And, women will come out and say this right now. Unfortunately, we don't have our esteemed woman co-host on here, Sister Jax. Once again, prayers go out to you, Sister Jax. Get well soon. I'm glad that you made it through the procedure. Now you got to go through the rehab and coming back. And I know you'll come back better, stronger, and more blessed. But let's just say this. Women will definitely say there is a double standard out there. And it is. It's a definitely double standard. But we have to be, as men, very cognizant of the following thing, especially if we are men of the 60s and the 70s. This is a whole new world.
I don't know that era. I don't know that.
Yeah, you lying your ass off, but that's cool.
I don't know that damn era. What are you talking about? I don't know nothing about that damn era. What are you talking about?
We'll agree with you. But it's a whole new time out here in 2024. Like he said, you got women who deal with women. And women, right now, if you're a man, if you're out there competing for a woman's heart, you might be. And here's the question. Oh, I'm glad you said that we're talking about sex now. No. I want to say this. So a person brought this up. I saw a lady post yesterday with the Shay Shay stuff. She said, and at the same time, how can some of you women deal with some of these men who may be or are bisexual, men who deal with women, men who deal with men? Then watch this. This was funny. A man slipped up and said on that same post, but what about the men who deal with women who deal with women? And one brother said that's a whole different ball game. And the woman said, once again, double standard. And I was like, I had to look around and go, they might have a point there. And I just really didn't know how to process that. But Brother Fatim, that's one of the questions. What happened? You're in a relationship with a man that you know deal with other men. And the woman said, how can you be with a man that you openly know that he don't only deal with women, he deal with men? A man put in the comments the same way a man deals with a woman that he knows may deal with other women. And then somebody said, but that's a double standard. That's two different things.
So,
Family, how y'all feel?
So it's a conversation. It's a conversation. You know, and this is a good conversation for the doc. You know, and you know, if I do have Corinne Steffen's number, if the doc is willing to it and she's willing to come on Superhead, I'll give her a call to see if she's willing to come on, because we need to talk about this. But we also have the other sister that you invited on that we met at Essence,
right?
That deals with that. So we have people that can come on here.
But she was okay, and correct me because I do not want to say
she's a sex therapist.
Right. And she was poly. What is it called? See, because it's different.
Not Andrew, because she told me polyandrous or something like that. I feel exactly
right. I don't know.
So she deals with both sexes. And I was telling KC, you know, the other day, last week, and I was telling my cousin, this is the first time that I asked a woman down in the Carolinas. I asked her, "Are you into men and women?" This is the first time I ever asked a woman this, you know, because I'm running into more of this. Now, why does it somewhat seems a slight different? And this is where why did Fatim bring up the doc point? The doc point is because of the STDs. And a lot of people feel that when, you know, this comes down to a real conversation about this, because when men are having sex with men, you know, where they're tearing the lining. I'm just have to be real. I'm just if they tear the lining in the rectum or the anus or whatever, and it opens up for infection. Where if women are having sex with women orally, you can pass on sex STDs as well. But a lot of women still use strap-ons and this, that, and the other. I think the bottom line is that when you start to hide these things, from your partner, then you're lying to them, and then you're playing with their lives. You shouldn't do that. So I'm not about, you know, that lying and all this thing about, you know, that, you know, I just sat with somebody this morning who has a boyfriend, but she also likes dealing with girls. Now she's in a relationship, so she's not stepping out of her relationship, but she also deals with women, you know, and, you know, more women are honest and openly about it. I think Queen Latifah role, when she played, I believe, Bessie Smith openly had a husband and a girlfriend. She openly had that. And this is not something new about 2024. This goes way back in time. It's just not men dealing with men and women. It was women dealing with men and women. This is something that has been going on in the dark for a long time. And now it's more out there that people deal with their preferences and how they choose to deal with their life. And that's what they do. But this is not something new. This has been going on for a long time.
Okay, so understand this. Now listen to what I'm trying to say. And I see that I really want somebody to call in. So the phone lines are wide open, 225-250-8770.
Jessica, what did you just say?
Wait a minute.
Jessica, what Jessica comment up there?
I can't because something has went wrong with the chat. That's why I'm looking at the chat on another stream. I can't pull it up on
I'm gonna read it, then, damn it. I'm gonna read it.
Read it.
Jessica went there. Nope. I'm strictly Dickly.
Hey, and listen. Now here is the question. Once again, I think it also has to do, like you said, a lot of this was going on behind closed doors in certain eras in time. Now things are much more in the open. For example, you know, back in, let's say it, in the 70s and the 80s, you might have been shunned upon if you walked around holding a guy's hand or a girl's hand and you were of the same sex. People would have looked at you very strange. These days and times, it's not like that. Times have changed. So, you know, I'm just saying, and once again, I want to be very delicate when I say this. The post said, the post, let me go to the post. Let me go and read this post to make sure I'm completely correct with this. So the post said, how do some of you women, knowingly that you're messing with a man, be he cute, be he fine, be he all that, but this man is also messing with other men. He's bi. How do you do that? Okay, that's what the post says. Some of the responses on the post was, and like I said, the main response was when a guy came on and said the same way us guys mess with a woman who we know is messing with other women. And somebody said that's not the same thing. One person said, no, that's not. Underneath that comment says, no, that's not the same thing. And that confused me. And then a person said that's a double standard. So that's why I'm trying to ask. Phone lines are wide open. I want somebody to call in. Since I don't,
I mean,
listen,
Joe,
to
I
be
mean,
exact, I'm not even going.
it is a conversation. I mean, it is a double standard, but it's not quite the same thing. I mean, it's the action is the same. The action in a sense of dealing with a person that's dealing with the same sex. That's the thing. But the act, with a woman, there's the chances of STDs and other things are less. Pregnancy, all that is less. You know what I'm saying? When a woman is dealing with a woman, to me, the principle is still in place that, if a man is dealing with a woman and the woman knows that he's dealing at the end of the day with a man, the principle is still the same as if a man is dealing with a woman and a woman is dealing with, the principle is still the same. That you're dealing with someone else outside of us that is basically the same sex. And I think the principle is still the same. But when you get into the whole act and this, that, and the other, that's why some people look at it as different.
Okay, I'm doing something totally different. For those of you who may be viewing us on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, I'm doing something totally different. I just put in the chat, I think I just put it in the YouTube chat, the actual StreamYard link to plug in and come in live on video. So if you have an iPhone, an Android, or you have a Chromebook, or you're going through any type of service that you can use, Google Chrome, I'm literally, if you don't want to call in, because we got somebody in Germany says, hold it, and I'm going to bring her on. Hold it, I'm going to bring her or him on. Let's bring this person on all the way from Germany. Look, we got folk in the building, y'all, all the way from Germany. It's my man. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Bring him out. Bring him out. It's Thursday. What's going on in Germany now? Talk to me. Talk to me in Germany, bro. Talk to me.
How you doing, sir? Well,
I'm doing
the
well.
big thing
What's
actually
going on, my
happening
brother?
in the big thing happening here in Germany and the UK is it's kind of funny. The police have pretty much told Nigerian women to stop calling them to get their husbands out the house. What has been
Oh,
happening on this side of the world is that a lot of the African women, once their husbands bring them over here, they'll get here and flip out and get the man pretty much kicked out of his house, and then they'll get welfare benefits. The same thing that kind of happened for us in America is the same thing that's now happening in the UK and here in Germany. If you actually look it up on YouTube, if you just type
wow.
in Nigeria UK police, you'll see it. It just happened this week. And there's a bunch of women talking about it and a bunch of men talking about it. So that's what's happening on this side of the world. The police have actually just said to
So,
the Nigerian women, "We're done. You're abusing the system. You're not getting beat. What you're doing is using us to come because once the police come here, the men are told to leave because there's an argument, whatever. Just go away for a few days. And what the women are doing in those few days, they kick them out. They claim abuse, and then all of a sudden they're abusing the system.
So,
so Mr.
Jason, first of
Watson,
all, thank you for joining us here.
yeah.
Let me just say this. So, Jason, it's interesting you say this. This hits close to home, so I have to be careful because I got to tell the person who it is. But this happened in Queens, New York, to someone I know. They dealt with a person, let them in their house. That person called the cops
hmm
and got the person kicked out. That person's daughter see the nonsense going on, stepped to that woman. She got kicked out the house. Now this woman is in the house now. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is happening in Germany, but and it's interesting because the woman that did this in the States, here in the United States, in Queens, New York, she is also a foreign woman that did the same thing. This is something that's going on that we're not hearing. This interesting now. You say the cops are not coming because now this is something that is being done. This is being done similar to a lot of foreign women who used to come here and marry. We used to get paid $5,000 to marry somebody, stay married to them for about 5 years so they can get their citizenship. So now here we go is another situation. These women don't have no house or no a roof over their head, and now they get the person kicked out their house, and now they pretty much get almost not ownership, but they get a roof over their house.
Wow.
Not just roof over the house, but pretty much a retirement. Because once that man's out the house, because once that if they were married, that this is the thing that with marriage, which is kind of a scam. Women will build you up to maintain something in order for you to have to maintain it when they divorce you. So what happens a lot of times is the women. Sorry.
Smoke.
So this is the conniving part. This is the conniving part that Sister Jack says that sometimes, which we get it on both sides, but this is the conniving part that we see some can fall to. And I'm telling you, it's this is why, and let me just say this, and I'm not promoting it, but this is why people get their lives taken, because people play with people and they play with the wrong person. This is crazy for what they're doing out here. And I'm telling you, if you're thinking about doing it, trust me, you're playing with danger. You're playing with your life.
Well, I think a lot of times as men, we always try to talk to women about how they got brainwashed by Disney. But I think Disney did a number on the majority of men as well, because I've been a career bartender all my life, and I'm now seeing so many great divorces. I'm seeing so many men in their 50s getting blindsided with divorce, because I honestly have this theory that women in general don't want to grow old with a man. As men, as we get to our 50s, we have our midlife crisis, and women too, but their menopause makes them get more sexually active, where ours is the opposite. We got to take those blue pills to even try to hang out. The divorce gives them a guilt-free reason to now explore their sexuality in a way that maybe they feel that they never could during the marriage. And that's why I think as men, we have to start preparing for what our lives will, and what marriage might look like in our 50s. Too many women are cashing out. And that's why I always tell men when they're trying to date, don't ask a woman what kind of man she wants to marry. Ask a woman what kind of man can she grow old with. What's his personality like? What's the person who's the person who you can actually be old with? And what you'll find is that man is probably bisexual.
So let me
that
ask
man
you a
that they are
question.
comfortable with. Yeah.
Mr. Washington, let me ask you a question. First, we need to get some things I want to put out there. First of all, where are you calling in from? Where are you exactly at right now? City and country?
I am in I'm in Bildau, Germany, which is right outside Berlin.
Weiss, wo Bildau is, and
wow. Small world.
Du
it's amazing here. It's a perfect village.
Yeah, it is. Beautiful. So let me ask you this. What time is it there in Germany right now? I know it's 7 hours different, so it's what?
3:45.
3:45. Okay. So you were perusing around, got in, and look, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start putting the link out there, because some folks can't call in via the phone line. You can literally jump on StreamYard and jump in here. And if some woman writes now, listen, I put the actual link in our chat on our Facebook chat. I'll put the link also in our Instagram chat. If you want to join in on the conversation, get in. You can get in like Mr. Washington, who is right now in Germany enjoying Truth Be Told. And man, I appreciate that you're telling us. So let me ask you this. Are you American? Are you?
Yes, I'm from Langston, Oklahoma. I'm from a small black college in Oklahoma.
I know. HBCU. HBCU. Let's get it. So are you in the service, or what are you doing?
No, I've been a career bartender all my life. My pawpaw, he had me on a reservation.
Come on now.
So he gave me his RV at 22. So
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put this back on point here. I'm
And
sorry, y'all.
so
Come on, bring it back.
Yeah, I got to put this back on point. It's nice that we getting all that, but like, we can't lose this momentum right here because this is a discussion we've never had on this show, and it made me say the same thing, that going back to where I'm at, and I've said this about women that have menopause, even some women that have hysterectomies that are older, that their sex life is reestablished. And when you talk about growing old, with the dynamics change. And what KC puts in his studies have shown that single women are happier and live longer. Women at this, well, like you said, after 50, things change for women and things change for men. And I'm not going to say women have not been stressed, because they've had a lot of stress on them. You understand? But us men that have those physical jobs, we also have a lot of physical jobs on us. So like you said, when we get up there in that age, we got to take that blue pill to struggle, while their libido and all get stronger at the end of the day. And the question is, do they want to grow old with us? Ask the same question I said. After being in a marriage for X amount of years, I'm saying what my choice is. I got to make my own choice now. My choice is, will I get married again? Will I deal with just one woman? Will I have those options? That is me. Long as I'm being honest with somebody, they have a right to say, that's not what I want to deal with, and I'm not going to deal with you like that. That's how I look at it. But the dynamics is changing now, and I hate to say this, it's not looking good for a lot of men that's growing old, bro, as in a relationship. Your thoughts, Jason?
On a global scale, it's not looking good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. On a global scale, happening. It's not even a race thing. It's happening to work. Same thing's happening. Same thing. Modern women globally are not wanting to grow old with men, and this is why I think as men we have this thing in our head that we think women want to be with us for the rest of our lives. I think we rethink that. So dealing with these women, we almost have to come to like a reality of, when we get to 50, we need to have a different type of marriage. And if you want to leave, man, we got to start protecting our investment, especially if you have children. Me, myself, I'm 42 and I'm already retired. But if I ever got into a relationship or tried to get married, what my money for my children is going to be jeopardized if she breaks up, if she divorces. So I have a very strong reason to never get married, because I already have I already have here in Germany. I decide, then I'm jeopardizing for my children. So marriage is a good examples of people old in love and marriage. So we have to figure out a way to incentivize men and women in our age bracket to come together and get married with a fear of what happens in divorce. So maybe that means we have to marry outside of the government, looks like, but over here, it's a lot more fair with socialism. I think that if more Black Americans and Black women and Black men knew about
I know he's
over here, ideas here, they incentivize you to reach old together. Whereas in America, they up.
Marriage is, let me just say this, and again, those that are married and thriving, Joe is thriving in his relationship, and that's good. I'm not here to broad brush this, but what I'm saying is to have an honest conversation. A lot of men are scared globally, not just domestically here in the States, but they're scared to get married because we can lose everything. And for women, it gives them benefits. You understand? It gives them protection. It protects them. And I understand that as well. But I'm telling you, a lot of men is like, because to get divorced, it rips you financially to pieces if that woman wants to go after your jugular, if that's what she wants to do.
So let me put this out there, family. Once again, if you want to be like Mr. Jason, Mr. Washington in Germany, and I know sometimes with the connection and with Wi-Fi and with way things are, because he's in a whole different country across the pond, you might see that sometimes his connection comes in and comes out. But you can join in also. I have literally put the StreamYard link, and I'm going to start doing this every show, because you may be overseas. You may not be wanting to call in on the phone lines because you can't. and we will let you come in live on camera. So, brother, before we let you go, because we know that you probably getting ready to bartend tonight somewhere in
He's
Berlin.
retired. He's
Well,
retired. That's a
hey,
something, boy.
he
The
living his he living
bartender
his
and retired. Woo.
he living
No,
his
no, no.
best life over there in
I
Europe.
am
I know how
retired
that
now.
feels, brother.
Yeah.
So give us some closing words, man, as you get out, and we tell you to continue to enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Again, black men, black women, white supremacy has affected us all, inside and women's side. So give each other grace and figure out how to actually have actual relationships. Because if we do not do this now, us in our 40s and up, the children of below us, the dating scene for them is going to be astronomically horrible. We have to put aside our love of capitalism and money and have lifelong connections that are spirit. I mean,
You know, we
and just try to figure out how to have long relationships for our younger people to see, we're so much better off. And that's my last part.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We thank you, man. We thank you for coming in. Listen, share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Brother Washington, man, you are welcome to come back on anytime. Just let me know in the chat. I'll send you the link. We'll get you on. Hopefully, you can have a stronger connection at the end. You came in strong, but at the end, they must have got mad over there in Europe and said that brother's spitting some real talk. Let us scramble his thing. So, great conversation, man. Great conversation.
and I'm glad that he came in because he brought something to the dynamic that we don't talk about. And a lot of times we're scared to talk about this. But I'm telling you, in the circles, that's why I say on this show, divorce is on the rise, marriage is on the decline. I
And
keep
that's true.
telling you, and a
That's
lot
very
of
true.
men, for numerous reasons, and a lot of women feel a lot of men don't want to get married because they want to run around. That may be for some, but that's not for all. A lot of men, they got real good investments, and they're not just going to give that over to somebody that has a hidden agenda. I'm not talking about you getting in a relationship and being abused. I'm just talking about this is real. And then when we talk about it, then us men are biased. Well, most of y'all know me. I take up for the women and women as much as I can. But I call a spade a spade. And don't think that I haven't talked about this. This hasn't been talked about in my circle because it has been. It has, and it's real. And at this stage, I don't have, but let's just say at a house, boat, and a yacht, and a picket fence, and apple pie sitting, I don't know. Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this person getting with me for me, or are they getting with me because of what I do or what I have? And that's why when I said when I was in my 20s, I didn't tell women the job I worked. I didn't tell them that, they didn't know. They thought I lived in a studio apartment. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't tell them this because to me, I want to see if you dealt with me because of who I am instead of for what I have. And that was my mentality back then. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hey, I fully understand. And brother Fatim, here's the sad thing about it. Many a times it has absolutely nothing to do with us, who we are, our personality, who we are as men, or quote unquote, who they are as women. Many a times we fall to the archaic ways of choosing partners and being with people in relationships. I always ask this question with some folks: would you still have been with that man if he was a trash collector? Would you have still been with that woman if she was a waitress at the IHOP or at the Waffle House? Now, mind you, I'm not saying a waitress at the IHOP or the Waffle House is beneath. I'm not saying a trash collector is beneath. But most folks will look at the occupation you have and all of a sudden begin to literally take you out of the equation because of the job you have, because they want some type of expiring some type of status. And even I look at that with social media these days and times. I see all type of people on social media trying to get attention, make money, and let's just be real, make money. Get attention and make money. That's why you see so many women on social media with bathing suits on, and because they have found out now that folks will view that, click, like, and share. That's getting to be a disease amongst not just black and brown folks, but people, period. The disease of click, like, and share. I have to be a social media sensation, and it is I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it is there. And it's going to
Everybody
have
wants
to
to be
be
a star.
right.
Everybody.
And it's going to have to be addressed sooner or later, because
Well,
in this click, like, and share world that we're in, there are relationships that are some being formed and some being destroyed. That's just the truth about the matter. And that's just something I wanted to put out there.
Yeah.
That's something put out
I
there.
think that people want to be a star. So, I'm not I don't know where to go with that discussion, because when you put on the radio back in the day, or you turn on the television, a lot of people fantasize, "Oh, I wish I could be that. I wish I could do that."
Right,
So
right.
right now, what people are doing is they're taking things into their own hand and doing things. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if they lower their standards, that's another thing. But
Right.
people have taken the opportunity to create something with their creativity, and some have really prospered and really done well. So,
That's true.
I want to say that. Eddie Bonnet, you're going to get me to agree with you today, because this is simple. He said, like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. That's correct. Eddie Murphy in Coming to America, the premise of that movie was that he was the king. And the bottom line is everybody wanted to marry him and do for him because he was the king. But he wanted somebody that would love him for who he is, not for his money, not for his status. And that's why he came to America. And when he met Shari Headley in the movie, she played that role. She was a down-to-earth woman. She was a woman that had principle, had character, and she was able to see that in Eddie Murphy, who was the king. And I just think that in life, that's beautiful. It's such a love story. I just said on Facebook, and I'm gonna invite them on. They're in Myrtle Beach. It's two of my friends, and they're such a love story, because I do want to promote positive marriages out there that are doing well. I'm not here to tear it down, but on the flip side, ain't no way in hell I'm not gonna run from this conversation, because there's a lot of barracudas out there, and there's a lot of freeloading men that prey on women that have money as well, and have homes and have cars and everything.
And vice versa.
So while we were talking about women, so now I'm saying that there's men that prey on the women as well. So what I'm saying is, a lot of men, I'm telling you, sisters, some are just not, they're going to hesitate to get married. They're going to hesitate to get married. They're going to definitely hesitate to get married. Then there's another situation here. I know I'm going to strike a chord with this one. You get with a guy, you have a child from him, but you have 3 other baby daddies. Ain't it his job to take care of all your kids? It ain't his job to take care of all your kids if he's not with you. That's not his job. His job is to take care of his child.
Well,
that's his job.
Hold it. Now the key word was, and you're right, Brother Fatim. If a man is with a woman, and I feel like this goes.
I said he's not with a woman.
Right. Hold it. Let me go through my spiel, and I'll throw it back to you. Just what Brother Fatim said was absolutely correct from my point of view, and in my opinion. You may feel differently. It has to do with being with somebody and not being with somebody. If a man has a child with you, but you have 3 other kids from 3 other individuals, it is that man's job to make sure that his child is okay if y'all are not in a relationship. That the bottom line is, y'all made this baby, y'all not in a relationship. His job is to take care of his child. How he may interact with the other children, really, to me, that's up to him. And I can't agree or disagree, because I don't know how he's thinking or how he feels. However, this is where the door swings both ways. If a man meets a woman and she has 3 children from 3 different men, and he decides to be in a relationship with her, that comes with her. Just like on the other side, if a woman meets a man and he has 3 children from 3 different women, those children come with him. It is a package deal once you decide to be in a relationship. However, when you're not in a relationship, we're not talking marriage, because marriage takes on a whole different animal in itself when we talk about this. But when you're in a relationship, it is a difference than when you're not in a relationship. And I fully agree with my brother Fatim with what he just said.
And my first wife, When I met her, she already had a child. She had pretty much an infant, and we got married. You understand? But that child had a father, and he made it very difficult because, you know, the situation is, I'm not sugarcoating crap. He was locked up when that baby was born. I didn't know her at the time. When I met her, she told me the situation. I decided we moved on and we wound up getting married. He comes home, but when he comes home, he uses the baby that I want to see the baby, but that was his way to get back with baby mama. But the problem is she's legally married. So my thing is, I'm never going to step in the way of a father being a father to his child. The problem, the lines got blurred when I realized this is some bull crap that he's posing here because he wants to get back with the mom. You understand what I'm saying? So it caused a lot of problems. So this is the situation. Now I'm gonna give it to you straight. Because a couple of my cousins disagree with me, and I don't care. That's fine. They have their opinion. I have to draw my line. So unfortunately, this young lady made a decision. We get a divorce. She goes back to the kid's father. It don't work out. It doesn't work out. She has another child. Then she meets another guy who I thought was a great guy. I knew him. We played softball together. I like that brother. Straight up. We play softball against each other. I didn't have a problem with the brother. He drove bus. I was on the bus sometime with him. We chopped it up. I don't have a problem. When you move on, I don't have no animosity. I don't. But you got to remember what happens to the child. Then the child calls me as a young adult and said, I had a good relationship. I never really established this relationship with my father or whatever. Can I call you dad? Whoa. So I ran it through Hanifa and my kids. Got back to her. Nah, baby, can't do that. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the love you give me, and I poured in you. I poured into you as you was my child, my biological child. But once your mother made her decision and you were still small, now that's not on me no more. Those are the things that you got to think of. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Let me say the following. I completely agree with what you did. Because in my humble opinion, your allegiance, your love, and your first directive, not only by your standards, but by those who may hold spiritual standards, is to the woman that is your wife and to your children. And if you went to them, which you said you did, when you went to them and honored them and said, listen, there is a person trying to come in my life. They're not my child, but they feel that we have a father-child relationship. We have a relationship where I poured into them. Here's what they want to do. How do y'all feel about it? Guess what? You honored the woman you were married to. You honored your children because they made a decision. And when you came back, you said, listen, after going to those who I have a accountability and a responsibility to, I just can't do that. And it's not because it's nothing wrong with you asking. I just can't do it. And I find nothing wrong with that. And here's why I find nothing wrong with that. Because you went to if that was your child. Now, if that had been your child, different story. But that individual was not your child. That was just a person that you were with their mother. They saw the love you gave them. And they felt that gave them enough respect for you to give you honor as looking at them as a father figure or a father. But when you went to your wife and children and presented this scenario to them and gave them input on the decision, you said, this ain't gonna work, because the input you got from your wife and children said, that's not your child. Though you were a great man and you did right by them, they cannot come in here and ask and put a label on you that comes with certain accountability and responsibility itself. Because once you start calling a person dad, that's just not a word. That comes with accountability and
responsibility. And we wasn't together that long. See, that's the whole thing. It wasn't like 5-6 years. It wasn't that long. So that there, and my mind was pretty much made up, but I wanted to run it by I never forget, because when the call came on, my wife just walked out. Hanifa just went to the store and my kids wasn't home and they were grown at the time. You understand? But I ran it by them. Hanifa didn't hit she wasn't that kind of woman. She just was like, well, what do you think? And we just talked about it. And I ran it by my kids, and my kids was like, they answered it real quick. And they went on about their business. Nah, daddy, ain't that don't make no sense.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. And they went on about their business. They ain't think nothing about it no more. Daddy, what are you going to do?
Right.
I told them what I was thinking. All right, they gone. Ain't got time for that.
Right. So Jessica Dewberry, and let me give Jessica the bell and a round of applause. She's a very faithful follower, listener, and viewer.
I love what she said.
We are broadcasting live on Facebook. We're on YouTube. And we're on Instagram. And Mr. Washington, I appreciate that you're still on here. She said, I've seen men go and take care of other women's children and didn't even take care of their own. A lot of folks have seen that.
Say that again. Say that again.
I have seen men go take care of other women's children and didn't take care of their own. I've seen a lot of men do that.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of men do that. Now, let me be very honest from my opinion and point of view on this thing. Many a times when we talk about relationships of children and fathers, we never put in the equation what the mother of the child is doing in the equation to sometimes cause confusion, to cause situations where the father can't be the father he wants to be to that child. Because let's just be very honest. And once again, I hate to bring this up because it sounds very political, but this is why it matters who you vote for. It matters who's in office. It matters how the laws are structured. Because most women know in a court of law, when it comes down to them, a man and a child, most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, those are the statistics. 8 out of 10 times, they will win every time. They will win every time. The courts will side with them as the mother of the child. And sometimes women can be manipulative. Now I know we don't have Jax on here, and I'm trying to be very gingerly with this.
I'm not.
Just like men can be dogs, and men can lie and do all kind of stuff that is completely wrong with women. I give a prime example, and I'm going to go off the rail just for 1 minute, Fatima, and I'm coming back.
Yeah, because I want to jump right on in.
Okay. So many times in this equation of men and children, and the mother, we don't look at what the mother is doing to cultivate a healthy relationship between the baby father, who she's not in a relationship with, and that child that is his child. That's what I wanted to say. Many a times we don't look at the equation from what is the biological mother doing to cultivate a healthy relationship between the child and its biological father, because the biological mother is no longer in a relationship with the biological father. We sometimes never look at how women don't cultivate a good relationship between the children and their biological dad when the relationship has split and when it's different ways. I'm just saying.
So,
it's yours.
So that equation does exist in some situations. And I understand that. But I'm talking to us men now. I'm talking to us men. If the shoe fit, I don't give a damn. Wear that shit. If you want to take care of your children and you want to do it the right way, take her ass to court. If she got your ass on child support, you got certain rights, bro. And if she don't have you on child support, do what a father's supposed to do to take care of your children. Yes, there are dynamics, as Joe said, but I'm not going to throw all these women under the bus. There are some dynamics where men are freeloaders, are no good, and the women. But that's not what Jessica said. Jessica said that there are some men that take care of other children Some they take care of some children that they don't take care of theirs. I want to deal with what
Very
she
true.
said. They
Very
are
true.
full of crap. Jessica, I'm trying not to use as much profanity. They are so full of crap. And then, because if that's your flesh and blood, ain't no woman, because I'll take her ass to court. I'll take her to court in every jurisdiction that she is. I'm taking care of my child. You not going to stop care of not me, not only taking care of my child, but having a relationship the best way that I can, the most way that I can to have a relationship with the child. If you want to chase, if you want to do something as a man, you do it. Doesn't matter. High, hell, whatever. You climb mountains, you swim seas to do what you want to do. You want to take care of somebody else's children, but you don't want to take care of your children that you made. That's irresponsible. And I understand that sometimes there are obstacles there. So what? You got to climb over those obstacles. That's what life is. My cousin, I have to call her name is D. That's my cousin. She was like, yo, sometimes us men got to man up. We got to man up and stand up. And I'm tired of that. Take care of your children. I've told y'all before, I don't have outside children, but ain't nobody going to get in my way, or I'm going to try to go through them to take care of my children. I'm not talking about physically go through them. I will exhaust every legal possibility to make sure that I have input in my child's life, because that's my child. You want to talk about no abortion? Well, damn right. Then at the end of the day, like I said, my mother told my father where his ex-wife cheated on him and he brought his 2 biological kids. My mom said, don't leave that other child there. That child didn't ask for that. And I told y'all there was a relationship, and when my father died, that child, my father's biological child, preached my father's funeral. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, take care of your children. Stop making excuses. And sometimes we do have challenges. Yes, sometimes, Joe, what Joe said, that does exist. And it does make us want to push away. But if you love your children, your flesh and blood, your DNA, you will go out there and do any and everything to take care of your children, because you're taking care of other people's children.
And I fully agree and stand 10 toes down with what Brother Fatim just said. However, my brothers and sisters, once again, on both sides of the equation, keep an open eye and a watchful eye on the manipulation that may come from both sides. Because I've seen it. It's real. And just like Jessica Dewberry said, that we're having some real conversation. It's 15 minutes after. I'm going to give y'all 15 more minutes, and I got to get out of here. Unless you want to do the last 30 minutes on the road, I can, Brother Fatim. It does not bother me. But, family, we really got to start having these hard conversations without us getting upset with one another. And let us look at the meal that's being served and take from it what is nourishment to us. Everything may not be nourishment to us, but we have to sit down and look at the meal and take what needs to be consumed as nourishment and take that. And guess what? I said this yesterday to a good friend of mine. Too many times we cannot sacrifice the greater good of all to be right. We cannot sacrifice the greater good of all to just say, guess what? I won this argument. Not say to be right. Let me rephrase that. We cannot sacrifice the greater good of all just to say, I won an argument. I won an argument. So you win an argument, but all humanity goes to hell in a handbasket. We got to stop that. We got to get to a place where we use common sense conversation amongst ourselves. Common sense conversation amongst ourselves. We can agree to disagree. Be exact. We can say, I heard what you said. Let me put that to the side and let it sit there, because I may eat it later. I have to kind of taste it. Check some things out. Make sure that it's good for me. Because too many of us just try to go along to get along. On both sides. On both sides. On both sides. and somebody better not go with that crazy comment, because I don't want to go there, because I'm trying to stay out the politics. I'm trying to really stay on these relationships. But listen, family, we've got to do better, be better, and it starts with self. It starts with you. And guess what? Whatever your belief system is, that's your belief system. Who am I to say your belief system isn't correct? All I can do is live the life that I know I need to live under the belief system that I have, and be an example to you without having to say a word of it. Either my belief system is working or it's not working. And guess how you know it's working? You can see the life I'm living. And still, the life I'm living doesn't mean the car I'm driving, the house I live in, or the money I'm making. You can see the peace and the tranquility on my life. Stuff don't bring that. You can have peace and tranquility and have a lot of stuff and still be okay. I don't have a problem with prosperity and stuff. I don't have a problem with millions of dollars. I don't have a problem with big cars, big houses, big things. I don't have a problem with that. But if you got that and you ain't got no peace, you ain't got nothing. Oh, let me say that again. If you got big cars, big house, big money, but you ain't got no peace, you ain't got nothing. Because I'd rather live in a hut and be at peace than to live in a mansion and be in turmoil every day. Simply said.
Let me read a couple of comments here.
Come on.
Jessica Dewberry, let me see. Okay, let me start here. There's a lot of comments here. Jessica Dewberry says, no doubt some mothers can be very manipulative, but I've seen it where the mom wants the father in the child's life, but they walked away and into another relationship. That's why I addressed that, Sister Jessica. Jason says, not majority, sir. Jason Washington, who was joined us earlier, said, why do we have to run to big daddy government? And, there's a couple of women that I've known that have been family friends that had children that were not married, and they didn't run to the government. And I'll never forget, the sister said to me, Sister Jamila, she said to me, she was like, I would never run to this government, because first of all, they take X amount out your check, and we only get an X amount. The money they take out your check is not the same amount that comes to you for their child. Okay, figure that out. That's number one. And then number one, it also emasculates some fathers that are trying to do. Some women are trying to squeeze blood out of a rock sometime. You understand? So, you run to big daddy government, Brother Jason, when when that person don't want to deal with their responsibility. But sometimes you can work these things out and have a more healthy and wholesome relationship, even if you're not together there. I'm trying to get this call off my phone now. That just came. Okay, cool. Rhonda Harrison said, I never took my, hold on, because it jumped. Rhonda, my phone jumped. Yeah, wait a minute, hold on. Jason said, my phone jumped. You can't keep calling me right now. I'm doing a podcast. You know what I'm saying? I hate this because these are some good comments. Oh, here you go. So Rhonda says, I never took my children's father to court. I just felt if he couldn't provide appropriately, I would fill that gap. I was never one to involve the system in my life. Too much of a headache as far as I'm concerned. And Sister Rhonda, we got to talk, because I do agree with that, to the degree you have to protect yourself when they don't want to do what's right. But I understand that mindset. KC says, that's right, Brother Fatin. Fight for your kids. Jewel Wall says, sad but true. Jason Washington comes back. We made the child as adults, and we need to handle a breakup without government holding our hands, telling nurses what to do. Totally agree with you. Oh, I'm with you on that page. I come from that school of thought. I think that government should not be in supervising and telling us what to do, as we being responsible adults, and realizing that we can't get along together, but we still have a responsibility of something that we did produce together. So I totally agree with that. KC was responding to Jason because, wait a minute, he said, sir, average men cannot afford that fight. And what he's basically saying is that the average man cannot wind up hiring lawyers taking women to court to see their children. And he's right. He's right. But what I'm saying is sometimes you just got to be trying to push the effort, and sometimes it will break that barrier or break that wall down on what that woman is standing up, because sometimes they fear that may be knocking on their door. Jason, KC responds to Jason, because some parents don't take care of their responsibilities otherwise. And then Jason comes back, how would you advise a man making $40,000 a year to pay for this fight? Very hard. It would be, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, Jason. Jason, it's very hard. It is very hard. That's why, again, sometimes people can change on you. But I've said this before, Jason, if you haven't heard me say this, we lay down with people that we don't know much about, we're not compatible with, and next thing they wind up pregnant. And then we have children with people that are not compatible. We don't really get along. We wind up not liking. We're not loving, don't love them. And then we create a very terrible situation. Rhonda comes back. Rhonda replies. Rhonda was replying to Jason, and she said, I agree. This is what I just said. Basically, then Jason said, then why can't her side of the family and his side of the family come together and hammer out a fair deal? And I hate to say this, Jason, a lot of times family starts to take sides. Right. And when they start to take sides, and then confusion comes in. I just want to try to get through some of these comments here because there's a lot.
Hold on. Before, let's bookmark that. Let's say this, and then you can get back to the comments. What people really need to come to realization of, and this is just my opinion. Once again, this is from my opinion and my belief. Folk will weaponize the legal system when it comes down to child support. So I have no problem that if you got a deadbeat dad out there that is not doing anything for that child, and you have did everything you could to try to talk to the father, get the father involved. Please, I need some financial help. Whatever it is, even if it's a slight bit, but if he's out there like, I don't want to deal with it, listen, that's your child. Like Brother Fatim said, you should have looked at the consequences of the actions you took and what now might come out of it. And now that it's came out of it, you got to deal with those consequences. It's accountability and responsibility. However, there are folk, mostly women, who, because they don't like the daddy, they don't like the next relationship the daddy may be in, they don't like what's going on, they will weaponize the justice system and child support to kind of be like, and it's not because they really want you to get money to take care of the child, because some of these fathers who are on child support that the system has been weaponized against, they're taking care of their child. It's just that woman says, I want the man in your business. I am going to weaponize this system that I feel like the man got you because you got me. You know, and that's just the truth about the matter. Now, I've seen that also swing both ways. I've seen men do that also, and I do not agree with it. If your primary reason for dealing with the system and child support is you've tried to exacerbate every possible means to get the other parent to be a part of that child's life, and they refuse to, then by all means, you're trying to make sure your child is okay. But when folks weaponize that system to be like, I'm getting at you because of the next man you with or the next woman you with, you're wrong, in my opinion. And I'll say no more.
There's a brother named Tim Alexander that we met back in the 2000s, between 2007, 2008. We brought him on Reverend Sharpton show. He came on for 2 segments. He did the whole 3 hours. He put out a clip, which I'm going to reach out to Tim Alexander. I don't know if he still talks about it. Since then, he's been married. So I need to check in with him. I have not spoken with him. I believe he's been on Michael Baisden's show after we did him on Reverend Sharpton show. He put out a clip where he broke up with this black woman, his wife, and he came to pick up his child. And when he came to pick up his child, he rolled up and he had his girlfriend or new wife who's white. And when the black ex-wife saw this, and she's sitting in the house with the girlfriends, it started a mile. It started. And when he got to the door, she tried to read him, and then he read her back. And I think that we need to play that clip and then bring Brother Tim Alexander on to have that conversation. Very good and interesting conversation.
With that being said, get a few comments in. It's 3 minutes to the 30. Either I can go road show or I'm going to have to call it a day. So
we call it a day. Let's get a couple more comments in. So Jessica Dewberry says, yep, I have a male cousin who wanted to be in his child's life and the mother wouldn't allow him to because he moved on. He had a whole bedroom full of clothes and toys and baby furniture to have the child on the weekends or whenever, and she denied him. He had to take her to court, and he finally got to have partial custody. So he fought. He was able to get that. KC said, get a second, third, fourth job, just like single mothers have to.
Come on,
whoa.
right.
See?
I agree with that.
See,
Hey.
that castor oil, giving that castor oil to somebody else. Now turn the damn spoon and take a damn dose yourself. Take a damn dose yourself. Okay, that's true. Good point. You know, so I mean, I went through these a lot of comments came in here. Oh my God, this is a lot. This is a good. This became a good topic today. I'm so glad we ain't talking on Trump and no politics and presidential stuff today.
Play a few more. Do a few more comments. Do a few more.
You sure? Because I went.
Go.
Okay. All right. So let me go back because I have to go back. All right. He said that. Don't forget that. So Rhonda says, let me bring that comment. So going back to what Jason said, because there was a line here. So Jason started when I read, how would you advise a man making $40,000 a year to pay for the fight? So KC said, get a second, third, fourth job, just like single mothers have to. I just read that. KC, Rhonda responded to KC, I did at one point, right? And KC said to Rhonda, yes, sis, it's hard as hell, but we do what we have to do to take care of our babies. Men will have excuses for days. Rhonda came back and responded to KC, facts and true, it was hard. Only you do what you must do to provide legally and morally. And I've seen a lot of women do that. I have family members that take care of their children and don't ask a penny from a man, you know. Casey says, wait a minute, let me bring this up. Rhonda says, I never took my children's father to court. I just felt it couldn't provide appropriately. I would fill that gap. I read this before. I was never one to involve the system in my life. Too much of a headache as far as I am concerned. KC says, I understand. I took mine and he was ordered to pay $55. I had to pay $200 a month for her insurance. In essence, I got $20 a month. He went years without paying. And at some point, I was able to hand my daughter a $8,000 check. She deserved that. You understand? Those are the sacrifices.
Amen.
Those are the sacrifices that a lot of times we don't see that they go through. You understand what I'm saying? And then the child sees that. Then when the child gets to adult, then sometimes the father wants to walk back in their life. Boy, I don't want to be on the other end of the daggers when the kids throw that back at them. Because if you done miss so many, if it's a female dance recitals, if it's a son, you done miss basketball, sports games, you know, band rehearsal, band performances, so many things that you have missed that you try to walk back in your child's life. And I'm going to tell you, don't come to me now and say, well, back then I got pregnant by you. I didn't tell you. Now that child is 25. Because I would hate that. I mean, I would never run for my child, but don't hide my child from me because I'm not the one that would run.
So tomorrow is Freedom and Fun Friday. I'll be broadcasting live from Dallas, Texas with my brother Fatim. We'll be back on the scene. Much love to our sister Jax out there who has been in the chat, who is recovering from her procedure. Keep your prayers and keep her uplifted that she gets well and gets well soon. Brother Fatim, give me some closing words and let's get up out of here.
I just say, I really, you know, I don't really have much. I just think that today was a good conversation. It was good that we brought on somebody, Brother Jason from Germany. And it just shows our reach out there. I love the comments. I love the energy. And I just love what we do here is that we talk about any and everything. You know, we talked about Shannon Sharp. We talk about sex. You know me. But we talk about any and everything because, and this was a different dynamic. Didn't go down this road before like this. We've touched on these things because we talk about relationships. but this was a different dynamic, and also to be explained what's happening overseas now, which I starting to see happen here in the States. You understand what I'm saying? Get with somebody, then they move in, and then next thing you get kicked out the house because they make a false claim of abuse. It's the most craziest thing. Or they create a situation where there's an argument, and you understand what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. And you know what? Let me look myself in the mirror. I got to be careful as well, because I'm telling you, a few minutes of pleasure could bring you a lifetime of heartache.
That part.
There you go.
That part. Listen, family, thank y'all for logging in. Thank y'all for being with us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Continue to follow us. Continue to share this information with your friends. Big ups to Brother Washington out there in Germany. Feeling dunk. It's evening out there, so good Abend. Family, we're about to. I feel we're just right there. So continue to love one another. Continue to converse with one another. Continue to understand one another. Continue to agree to disagree. We're not here to tell you how to think or what to think, but we're telling you, think. Get the information for yourself. Don't tell me what somebody told you. Tell me what you read. It means a lot to me. Be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere, that no matter how they try to pay you back, there's no earthly way they can. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he willingly can do for you. On the behalf of myself, 100 BLK, the Black Station, my brother Fatim from another mother, from 107.5 WBLS in New York City, keeping it real with Al Sharpton, and the Open Line Online, our sister Jax, the life strategist, the art therapist, the speaker to Arthur. Thank you for logging in the hashtag Truth Be Told. And keep it real with yourself. We up out of here. Peace.
Check it. When a nigga be thinking of cruising and a race cap it to the side, thinking it's gonna pull me over with this herb off in my ride. So I had to brick of weed under the armrest, under the leather, and thinking of starting a way to make my life a little bit better than the dope peddler. Never to pay no fucking taxes, taking the chunk up out of my taxes.